Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speakers, honorable guests, colleagues and students from all over the world. I welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the Right Livelihood College campus at the Center for Development Research at the University of Bonn, and also to our international workshop on reverse degradation by innovation, new pathways of sustainable natural resources management. I welcome our distinguished speakers, the Mayor of the City of Bonn, Mr. Jürgen Nimptsch, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Bonn, Professor Jürgen Fohrmann, the Vice Chair of the Right Livelihood Award Foundation, Ms. Monika Griefan, and the Vice President of the German Academic Exchange Service, Professor Max Huber. I especially welcome our distinguished guests, the alternative Nobel laureates, whom I will shortly introduce. I welcome Dr. Wes Jackson, from the United States. Dr. Jackson is a geneticist agronomist who received the Right Livelihood Award in the year 2000 for his commitment to developing an agriculture that is both highly productive and also truly ecologically sustainable. He established and served as chair of one of the United States' first environmental studies programs at the California State University in Sacramento, and he founded the non-profit organization The Land Institute in 1976, which he still has. Wes Jackson published several books and The Land Report, a newsletter about American sustainable agriculture and agrarianism. I also welcome Professor Raul Montenegro from Argentina. Professor Montenegro is an evolutionary biologist who received the Right Livelihood Award in the year 2004 for his outstanding work with local communities and indigenous people to protect the environment and natural resources. He is president of the Environmental Defense Foundation, which works on a local, national and international level against environmental degradation and promotes sustainable development and sustainable societies. He has been involved in a wide range of environmental activities, including campaigns against nuclear energy and environmental pollution. I welcome Dr. Hanumappa Sudarshan from India. Dr. Sudarshan is a social worker and a tribal rights activist who received the Right Livelihood Award in 1994 for showing how tribal culture can contribute to a process that secures basic rights and fundamental needs of the indigenous population and also conserves their environment. He founded the, and I hope I pronounce it right, Vivekananda Girijana Kalyana Kendra, which is an organization in 1981, which works with a mission of sustainable development of tribal people through rights-based approaches to health, education, livelihood security, and biodiversity conservation. Part of the program is a 500-pupil school which aims at developing a child's personality with an attitude of service and pride as well as confidence in their culture. Last but not least, I welcome Shrikrishna Upadhyay from Nepal. He is a development practitioner who received the Right Livelihood Award last year for demonstrating over many, many years the power of community mobilization to address the multiple causes of poverty, even when threatened by political violence and instability. In 1991, he initiated SAPROS, that means Support Activities for Poor Producers in Nepal, which works in the poorest areas of the country. Its strategy is to develop grassroots level institutions that are self-sufficient, replicable, and enable the poor people to self-govern and manage community affairs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, today is an important day for CEF, the Center for Development Research. The inauguration of the Right Livelihood Campus will open new avenues for us to follow our mission and contribute with our research to sustainable human and natural resources development. We hope to do so in the future under close cooperation with Right Livelihood laureates, to contribute with our research to help solving problems and development topics that are relevant for a more just development. With the financial support of the DAAD and the University of Bonn, we will be able to invite laureates to come to Bonn, to finance shorter research of MA and PhD students who will be able to work with the laureates in their home countries, and to finance one PhD student per year who will write a PhD thesis in close cooperation with the laureate and his or her university supervisor. We aim to develop joint projects with laureates in the future, to establish long-term working relations. We already have close contacts with the other Right Livelihood campuses in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, in Penang, Malaysia, and Lund in Sweden. Strong networks are important to address pressing problems of today, and CEF, with its interdisciplinary approach towards research, will be a strong partner in this network. Last but not least, I warmly welcome the 19 PhD students from 17 different countries coming as far as the Fiji Islands, who were selected for more than 120 applicants to come to Bonn. You will have the chance to work with the laureates for 3 days and return back home inspired and hopefully with new ideas. We know we are living in an information society, and if you want to know more about a certain topic, you usually check the internet or you just Google what you want to know and you will get the answer, and you are usually getting it very fast. It seems that the internet searching machines have answers to all our questions, and as I said, the answers come fast. But believe me, Mr. Google is not able to answer the most pressing problems of our world, like how to fight poverty, how to secure basic human rights, how to efficiently protect the environment, and so on and so forth. The laureates you will meet during the next 3 days might not have quick answers to your questions, but they have made very important steps to find solutions for pressing problems and to work for a more just and environmentally protected world. We should commit ourselves to find answers to problems, to communicate them properly to those who are involved, in a language they understand, to learn from each other, and to take action if human rights are neglected. We can all make a difference, and we see that stepwise things are changing. This new Right Livelihood Campus is also a step to build a strong network, to exchange knowledge, to learn from each other, and to take action. Let us start. I wish the Bonn campus and the coming workshop to make a step. Thank you for your kind attention. I'm now calling the Mayor of the City of Bonn, Mr. Jürgen Nimptsch, to give this opening speech. Thank you.
Herr Professor Foreman, Herr Professor Huber, Frau Professor Gerke, Frau Griefahn, dear Right Livelihood laureates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to be here with you today for the opening of the international campus of the Right Livelihood College in Bonn. Mrs. Griefahn, I still remember when we met for the first time with regard to the Right Livelihood Award. That was in the old town hall here in Bonn in my office in November 2009. And it's just a closing circle. I had to leave my office, as the old town hall is under reconstruction for 1.5 years. The office is opening today, and it's allowed to me to return in my office end of the week. So it's wonderful. We've done the job. It was the beginning of a very intensive time of preparations that led to the 30th anniversary conference to the Right Livelihood Award here in Bonn in September last year, and together with you, the Right Livelihood Award Foundation and the Foundation for Environment and Development North Rhine-Westphalia, as well as with the Foundation of International Dialogue with the Savings Bank in Bonn and many other Bonn-based organizations, we succeeded in organizing a very special conference. It was special in a way that it had a very impressive spirit that was different from most of the conferences I have ever attended. I still remember the atmosphere at the signing ceremony of the Golden Book, a unique gathering of the laureates of the last 30 years. Professor Montenegro and Dr. Sudarshan, you both were there, and Thamasos present here today as well. Maybe you share my impression that it was a very special occasion. This overwhelming gathering of men and women with very different experiences, but united in the idea to dedicate a lot of their lifetime and resources to find practical solutions to the most pressing problems of our livelihoods. Mrs. Griffin, you and Jakob von Uxko, representing the Right Livelihood Award Foundation, started a very good initiative when the idea of holding the 30th anniversary conference of the Right Livelihood Award in Bonn was born, and I'm even more happy to see that there is a continuation of what started last autumn. Last year, parallel to the anniversary conference, the Right Livelihood College and the Center of Development Research co-organized a Young Scientist Side Conference located at the CEF. And during this event, the Right Livelihood Award laureates worked together with students and young researchers. Following this cooperation, thanks to the engagement of Professor Görke, but also thanks to the German Academic Exchange Service, a permanent campus of the Right Livelihood College now has been established in Bonn. I think this illustrates very adequately how well the landscape of Bonn, with government and development agencies, science and research institutes, international organizations, and over 150 non-governmental organizations, fits to the Right Livelihood Award and its themes. It is a very good example of how the networks in our city are in touch with each other, work together, take up initiatives, and proceed together. It also shows that the richness of topics the organizations in the city of Bonn are working on. During last year's conference, we had 2 full days with public events, day-long conferences, school visits, panel discussions, and expert dialogues organized by more than 25 Bonn-based organizations. And in these events, the Right Livelihood laureates met interested and competent dialogue partners. Just as the laureates, the pioneers of sustainability, who have shown what can be accomplished when we have a vision, as Jakob von Uxko said. You find experts here who work on similar topics. Bonn has gained a good reputation, I think, as a platform for sustainability. Its characteristic, its diversity of actors, of opinions, of approaches and solutions in an atmosphere of tolerance and participation. By uniting many actors and allowing them to exchange experiences on many occasions, Bonn has become a place where common goals overcome structural divisions. Here you can gather and have enriching experiences looking at the same thing from different angles. On the website of SAFE, or the Right Livelihood College campus in Bonn, you find the subtitle Linking the Right Livelihood Award Winners with Applied and Interdisciplinary Research and Education. This describes the bridge that has been developed through the conference here in Bonn, from the laureates to academics and young scientists and vice versa. This is a win-win situation for all participating. It is also fascinating to see how the very young history of the Right Livelihood College has developed. It started with the establishment of the U.S.A campus in Penang, Malaysia, not even 2.5 years ago, and has now already developed into a global capacity building initiative encompassing, besides Bonn, also campuses in Lund and Addis Ababa. Together with many stakeholders in Bonn, I'm very excited that with the Right Livelihood College campus, a new place is created in Bonn for sharing ideas, learning and gaining mutual benefit over the next few years. For this first workshop, I wish you good and inspiring discussions. Good luck.
Thank you very much for your warm words of welcome, and I'm sure the city of Bonn will always also support our activities, and I think we'll get in more intense discussions how to do that. I'm now calling upon the Vice Chancellor of the University of Bonn, Professor Jürgen Fohrmann, for his opening speech. Thank you.
Lord Mayor Nimptsch, dear Vice Chair Griffin, Vice President Huber, dear colleague Gerke, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear students, it's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all on behalf of the University of Bonn here in the University Center for Development Studies for this first and opening session of the Right Livelihood College RLC on its new Bonn campus. The RLC is, if you will, truly an institution of the 21st century, not so much because it is situated on 4 campuses instead of 1, although this little factoid certainly gives it an air of being somewhat Web 2.0, but because of the solution-oriented character of the RLC. With the Right Livelihood Award, the so-called alternative Nobel Prize, and its laureates as underlying groundwork, the RLC serves as a very powerful multiplier of the laureates' ideas and principles by appealing to young scientists and PhD students and bringing them not just into contact with the laureates, but enabling them to discuss these ideas and principles and maybe even enhance them. And it does so without centering on the Western world and people from it. Instead, it taps intellectual resources from people throughout the world. Let me say we are indeed very proud to be one of the 4 campuses of the RLC and consider it to be a highly valuable addition to our own portfolio. In all humbleness, I dare say that our Center for Development Studies, in short ZEF, was indeed predestined to become a campus of the RLC. Founded just over 15 years ago, ZEF has quickly become one of the research institutions in the realm of development research. In 2010, the center was ranked among the top 5% of all evaluated think tanks among 6,220 countries on the To Go to Think Tank ranking. It was also chosen as a leading institution in setting up WESTEL, the so-called West African Science Service Center on Climate and Adapted Land Use. This year, ZEF became a major partner in the Crossroad Asia project funded by the German Ministry of Education and Research. And of course, the center is highly successful with its internationally renowned doctoral program. All this would not be possible if SLEF's orientation was not highly international. Half of the staff is from abroad, and the center cooperates with institutions worldwide, not least with several United Nations institutions. Of course, there are many connections between the Center for Development Studies and other institutions of the university. There's a close cooperation with the Faculty of Agriculture, the Department of Political Science, several of our institutes for regional studies, area studies, and so on. At the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we are planning to highlight the very important aspects of the research done at REF and other institutions of this university by creating a wider network for education and research, namely in the realms of sustainability and democracy, or to be more precise, in the connection between those perspectives. For it is a too narrow concept, as you may know, of sustainability to restrict it to the topics of agricultural research or the research in the natural sciences. In our understanding, we have to think about at least 6 types of resources and the research in it. These are, of course, natural resources, then second, resources of the material culture, third, economic resources, political resources, human resources, and that means physical, intellectual, and scientific resources, and last but not least, symbolic, cultural resources incorporating the state of media development. The task is to link the research and education concerning these 6 fields in a new integrated way. At the moment, we are in close negotiations with the government of North Rhine-Westphalia in order to create a network which makes such integration possible. It is too early to provide, at the moment, detailed information about that, but I'm certain that ZEF will play a vital role in the establishment of this network and will thus also further strengthen its own research and teaching capabilities. And the RLC will certainly be of importance in that process. Ladies and gentlemen, as Shakespeare's Polonius so fittingly remarks, brevity is the soul of wit, which leaves me with no alternative but to keep my remarks brief. That's all that is left to say. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for coming to Bonn, and very good luck with the projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your warm words, Professor Foreman. And I think I really should mention, after we discussed the DRAD, the idea of the Right Livelihood campus here in Bonn, and the DRAD said that they would be really interested to have it at CEF and would finance it. We were calling the university to ask him for support. And as you know, the universities in Germany are under financial constraints, but the very positive response from the university, the enthusiastically response of our Vice Chancellor, and then at least also the administration to also financially support us. I would like to mention this again and also thank the university. And as universities are, they said, okay, we finance you for 3 years and then we see how you perform, and if you perform well, we can discuss it again. And then we hope, of course, we are performing well and we are getting more money than we are getting now. I'm now calling Monika Griefahn. She is the Vice Chair of the Right Livelihood Award Foundation, and we are very happy that you are here from the Right Livelihood Award Foundation, also for the opening ceremony, and I call you for your speech.
Ja, vielen Dank, Frau Gerke, Herr Nimptsch, Herr Foreman und Herr Huber. I thank all the ones who have a great hospitality here in Bonn for us. For the second time now, I have the chance to speak here, because we had already, for the 30th anniversary last year, a gathering here, as Mr. Nimptsch said already. And I'm very happy about the possibility that Right Livelihood College can be here at the University of Bonn, at the CEF and at the DID, whom I have a very long time connection, is supporting the exchange between the people. Because when we had our last year's 30th anniversary here, and dear Hanumappa, you were there, dear Raul, you were there, dear Wes and Joan, you couldn't be there, and dear Srikrishna, you couldn't be there neither. But we had, in one of the World Cafe meetings, one big wish from the award winners, and that is that the network among the award winners and that the work they could really profit from each other could continue, and that they really would work much more closely together. And I'm so happy that the idea of our Right Livelihood winner, Anwar Fazal, who really was very active in the beginning to push it through at the University of Penang, and really made it happen, that it now is there. That is now really taking fruits in a lot of countries, like we already said, in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, in Sweden, in Lund, and in Penang, of course, it's going on, and here in Bonn. And I think it's the best place you can have, because it's a really international town. You have international secretariats, and you have the warm hospitality of all the institutions here, including, for instance, UNESCO, which Frau Merkel is here. And I think it is very nice that we have all these possibilities to connect to each other. Thank you also to Bijan Kafi, who had really done a lot of work in the past 6 years with the proposal he made to really get this Right Livelihood College going. And now, thank you to Mr. Stellmacher, who has taken over the responsibility to coordinate the Right Livelihood College in Germany now, or in Europe now. That's very great, and I'm very happy. And I think for us it's really good to see that all the projects getting older, people are working for a long time on that, and that this experience and the knowledge from our award winners is really going to other people as well. That nobody has to invent everything from scratch, but that they really can start with the experience and the knowledge that people have made in a lot of projects. And that makes me really proud that that is really the official start now today as well. And that this today is also a big, an important development in the history of Right Livelihood Award Foundation. Up to now, we have merely honored dedicated people, although the word merely, I think, doesn't really fit here, because having honored almost 140 people now from all over the world is a great achievement, and I'm happy that, fortunately, probably we haven't done big mistakes, because all the award winners still have a good reputation and bring something to the world, and that's very good, because it could be also the other way. And now we see that a lot of other awards pick our award winners because they say, oh, they have already shown that they really achieve good things and that they really work and continuously work even with the award they have. So we want their commitment to a broader scale, bring to a broader scale, and give their face and knowledge to future generations. And I think it's really time to do that, because we're all getting younger. I have been working with the award now for 25 years, and I see that everybody, is really there for a long time, and we need young people, new people. So what better as a university is here to really get the knowledge brought over to the next generations. And when we had this 80 laureates here last year, about 80, and I agree with you, Mr. Nimptsch, that we had a special atmosphere. I felt that as well. And I felt that especially when we had this World Cafe and a Saturday, the whole day, where everybody said before, how will you get all these egos? They are all leaders of organizations together and to cooperate and to work together. And it was a great, inspiring meeting, and we have done a book afterwards with all the ideas, and a lot of these ideas are really in in getting put into action. So that's, I think, a very, very good result, and one of the results is also that we are here. Thank you very much again, and that's a big honor for us. Yeah, we have the idea that the knowledge of the laureates is accessible to the public and to the scientific community, and we think that three sources are important for that. That's education, research, and practical activities. And I think all our laureates are not only researchers or scientific people, but they do also practical work, and that's sometimes very useful to get to know as well, that you can really do something with your knowledge and not only read about it or do something. And I really realized also last year how important it is to connect the people directly together. For instance, our laureate Nepal, who has initiated the solar home systems and teaching women as technicians for introducing that in Bangladesh, he was really needed for our other laureate, René Ngongo, in Congo, who said, if we want to stop cutting the forests of the rainforests, then we need an alternative. And the solar home systems is something which our people probably don't afford as well, if Bangladesh is able to do that. And that's much better to put those people together than only to come with initiatives, for instance, from Germany, although we are doing a lot of things, for instance, on solar energy, on water cleaning, etc. as well. But I think between those knowledges, it's so important to exchange, and I think it's great if that's possible to connect them. We would also like to provide a hub for promoting and multiplying successful solutions to urgent global problems, as every single one of the laureates addresses an urgent global problem such as poverty, environmental destruction, or social injustice. But they not only complain, but they give solutions, and I think that's an important point. For me, that's my longest really engagement, my longest activity I'm doing, because I always feel the energy and the positive feeling that people can do something and that you can find solutions, and the solutions are there, you only have to introduce them. And I think that's the good about the Right Livelihood Award and my work there. Each year when I got all these nominations of people, I think, oh, there are all these wonderful people in the world and they show it's working. Please, please look at them and do it as well, because it's not so bad as everybody thinks we can do it if we do it together. And that's, I think, a good thing that we can do that here as well. And we would like to link the most excellent institutions that foster programs that resonate with the goals of the Right Livelihood Award Foundation. And again, universities like that is a very important link in that system, because they have these networks as well. And you said that, Frau Gerke, that there is this network here, and I think it's very important. What we stand for might be the best presented by the Universal Declaration of the Rights of Mother Earth, which Amber Fazal has mainly created with people from the Penang University and the Right Livelihood College there. And it has now been submitted to the United Nations for consideration, and it basically states that Mother Earth is a living being, and each being is an integral part of Mother Earth. For human beings, that means that more than for any other being, to ensure that the pursuit of human well-being shall contribute to the well-being of Mother Earth. And for those of us who are Germans, and it sounds probably a little bit strange, I think in every religion it's the same, that you think, for instance, in Germany you have mostly, there are a lot of Christians, you have also other religions, but the majority of people are Christian, and there you have in the Bible that you should preserve the earth. But most of the people are not doing that. So if we think about it again, that we start to produce things, for instance, in circular ways, so that, like in nature, everything can be used again, either in a biological cycle or in a technical cycle, then we don't have the concept of waste any longer. We cannot afford the concept of waste. We have to learn from the earth how they are managing it. If you look, for instance, at ants in biomass are 4 times more than human beings. And they are never a problem because they are all doing in biological cycles. But humans are a problem because they are producing waste and they are spoiling resources and they are away afterwards and they can't come back. So I think that's an important point, and if we can think about how can we produce and live in the future, then it's a big step. And so I'm very interested to see how the workshop will go. For instance, I saw that somebody is there who's specialized in palm oil discussions. And you know that I'm a little bit skeptical about whether you can really palm oil use as an alternative, because it never grows so much CO2 again than the original rainforest trees. Yeah, and the important points also are that we have to respect and conserve the ecological cycles, and we see that we pay normally not the price we should pay. For instance, in northern countries there is a lot of production like nuclear. We have a big discussion in Germany at the moment to end that, but who pays for it in the end? Pays normally those countries who don't have nuclear themselves. Or if the CO2 is rising, it's the same problem. You have finally people like in Bangladesh or in Nauru and Kiribati who pay for that by raising the water. And so I think we have to consider all of that, and I think when the laureates exchange and the people build the network, that's the way how to do it. And I'm very happy that this is possible here during this week, and I hope that these people who are working here together will find new solutions, will find ideas how to solve things, and will find, as Christiane von Weizsäcker said, work with technologies who are friendly to mistakes of human beings, because we have a lot of technologies that are not friendly to mistakes of human beings. So, I hope that you have a very interesting week. I'm happy that we have this cooperation here. I'm very thankful to you that you have come here to Germany to really exchange with the other students and with people from the city of Bonn and the town and the university. And I hope that you have also an interesting and nice week. The weather is nice, so that's probably also good for good communication. And thank you very much for your hospitality here in Bonn and at the university at SSF. Thank you very much.
Frau Griefmann, thank you very much for your inspiring and forward-looking and very, engaged speech. And I hope we can all fulfill what you think we should do now in our workshop. Probably this is the first step, as I said before. Now I'm calling upon our last speaker. This is Professor Max Huber, the Vice Chair of the Vice President of the German Academic Exchange Service. And the DRAD is, as you already know, the organization financing the Right Livelihood campus here in Bonn. And we have to admit we can be enthusiastic, we can be fully committed, but without financial means, for example, this meeting and workshop today would not be possible. And so we are very grateful. I'm calling upon our last speaker, Professor Huber, to come on the stage.
Frau Gerke, Magnifizenz, Herr Bürgermeister, Frau Griefmann, it's my great pleasure to participate in the inauguration of the Bonn campus of the Right Livelihood College here in Bonn. I think this is a great idea, and the previous speakers have given lots of arguments why this is such a great idea. And it's even more impressive that you found this local campus here in Bonn. Because I think the ZEF is just the proper institution where such a campus should be located, because the ideas of ZEF as well as the ideas of the Right Livelihood College are very parallel and very similar. And in addition, as the mayor pointed out here, had pointed out, here in Bonn there are lots of institutions which like to cooperate with this new college. One of those institutions, by the way, is the DAAD, the German Academic Exchange Service. In fact, we have a long history in supporting development research. Over the past decades, we have increasingly strengthened our efforts to help, to support research and education and application of research and education in practical examples throughout the world. And we are very happy with the result so far, although the problems, as has been pointed out several times already this morning, the problems are tremendous. The rapid rise of population to begin with, and as a consequence of that, the problems of environmental problems, and I don't need to, in this audience, to detail those problems. They are increasing, again, at a rapid pace, and we have to somehow to come up, to help to reduce the speed and to arrive at a sustainable development. And therefore, the DAAD is lobbying, first of all in the Bundestag, and with its deputies, lobbying for an increasing support of development research, for example, for the DAAD. We are lobbying at the ministries, and we are fortunate to say that both the Foreign Office and the Ministry of Education and Research are very strongly supporting us, and increasingly also the Ministry for Economic Development, the BMZ, Entwicklungshilfeministerium. We are very, very happy that your ideas, Mrs. Griefan, becoming more and more popular also among the political community here in Germany. So we are somewhat optimistic within the given limits that are given by the budgets and availability of money, but we are very happy also to have aids, to have people who help us to transform such ideas. And one of the most important institutions is CEF. This Center for Development Research here in Bonn, which has been established during the last, 15 years ago, and who has a very bright record over the last 15 years as far as development research, as far as education in this field, and as far as the application of what has been found out theoretically to the practical cases. I think we all can be very proud of the record of CEF and therefore of the University of Bonn. And I like to take the opportunity to mention Professor Ehlers, who in the last row of this audience is sitting. He is the father of CEF. He was the first to bring up the idea that at the University of Bonn there should be something like such a center, and what finally came out is what is CEF now today. In fact, Magnificence, you pointed that out. Within the university, within any university, but in particular, if I know it correctly, within the Bonn University, there is such a variety of competences concerning the development fields, both in starting from geography, going into the agricultural sector and in the technical sectors, which become more and more important, such as the energy question and the water question, has all been said today. So it is very useful to combine those strengths and to concentrate, to focus the competences on specific points. And I think this is just what was the basic of the success of CEF, that within one given university, all those many competences have been bundled together, focused on the goals of CEF, and I think the last 50 years have proven how successful those ideas are. Now, I said the DRD is very happy to have partners like the CEF, partners like this campus. We are looking forward to cope with you in the future, and to the extent that we are able to support it, you have mentioned in which extent we are doing it, we are happy to do so and to support it, and we are looking forward to keep close in touch with you and to keep on supporting your ideas, and and I hope that we also can get the support from the political communities. I know, Mrs. Cleveland, you are one of our good friends in Parliament, and we rely on the convincing power of your arguments. So, we are looking forward. Let us, I wish this college and the Bonn campus every success that is possible for the benefit of those who participate in this college, and after all, for all of us, because we all profit from the success of this college. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Huber, for your words. And I must say, CEF wouldn't be what it is without the DRAD. It is not only that you are supporting this campus, but you're also supporting our PhD program, financing every year scholarships for PhD students who are actually then doing the research, which is practically relevant, but soundly based in science. And without the DRAD, we would probably not be where we are at the moment. And I think this has to be taken into consideration and acknowledged properly. So thank you very much, DRAD. Ladies and gentlemen, this opening ceremony has come to an end now. I thank you very much for your kind attention and interest in our work and in what is going on during the next 3 days. We are meeting again here at 2 o'clock for the talks by 3 of our 4 alternative Nobel Prize winners that will then give a talk on their work and on what they are doing until 5 o'clock, I think. And one of our alternative Nobel Prize laureate will give a talk on Wednesday at 11 o'clock in the same place. So you are all invited to return and to come again. And for the rest of the time, the students and also some experts from the university and from other organizations will meet for the workshop and to discuss the questions we are addressing during the next 3 days. Thank you very much, and I wish you all a very nice day and enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Sorry, we would like to take the opportunity to have a group photo, and we will meet now in the CEF garden, which is directly after the CEF lobby. So if you would agree, we make a group photo in the garden.